Hey everyone, so 3.13 is still in PTU, but in this video I just wanted to take a bit of a more in-depth look at the new types of delivery missions. Before we start though, if you end up enjoying this video, or if you just want to support the channel, please go ahead and subscribe and like the video, I really appreciate it. So just starting off, I do want to mention that with the update still being in PTU, some aspects of these missions could be changed before the patch goes live. I think this is pretty unlikely because they usually focus on bug fixing during the PTU and not really any gameplay changes, but if there is a major change made to these missions, I'll either pin a comment down below or I'll make another video if it's a really big change. So in this video, I want to answer whether or not delivery missions are a reasonable option for making credits again with these new missions. If you just want the answer, it's no, they're not even close. But I'll show you why in this video, and I'll also talk about why I think that's a bigger problem than it might seem like. So just to start off, they haven't changed the standard delivery missions. The standard delivery missions are all pretty local to either one moon or just one planetary system, and you either pick up 3 packages from 3 different points and bring them to one drop-off location, or pick up 3 packages from one pickup point and drop them off at 3 separate locations for 8,000 credits. Now, starting off with the new quantum-sensitive cargo missions, these can be found in the Delivery Mission tab, and it seems like they're available around all the major planets. So for these missions, you're tasked with delivering 1 to 2 little boxes of deliveries, or however you say it, to 1 or 2 locations depending on the mission. This sounds easy, but the catch is you cannot quantum travel with this cargo, or else it'll explode and potentially damage your ship or even destroy it. I do like the fact that this presents a unique challenge, but at the rates that you're paid for these missions, it doesn't really make sense. Also, while these missions are different from regular deliveries the first time you do them, I think that the novelty of having to fly your ship without using quantum travel will get old pretty quickly, so eventually these will just be extra boring delivery missions. I think the solution to this is in the mission text though, because they mention how this material can be taken into quantum travel if it's in a properly shielded container. Hopefully one day we could just buy a container like that and take it with us to do these missions efficiently, which I think would then be a lot more fun, because you'd have to do some planning to set up for a task at hand, but then once you get doing it, you're rewarded a bit more because you're able to do these missions a lot faster by quantum traveling. At the moment though, we're stuck with just flying manually. So this mission type doesn't have a set distance between the locations, so I'd be careful about which ones you accept when you're looking at them in the contracts manager. They range in distance from doable but annoying to just ridiculous distances. For example, the one I attempted in my last video about the PTU would have required me to fly 1.5 thousand kilometers around Hurston for a single drop-off mission. While it was only a single package for that mission, flying at max speed, it would still take about half an hour just to cover that distance, and that's not including the time for exiting and re-entering the thick atmosphere around Hurston, since you're going to want to do that to be able to reach your max speed. The one I got for this video was a bit more reasonable, especially since I was able to do it around one of ArcCorp's moons, Lyria, which has a very thin atmosphere, so you don't have to spend that much time gaining and losing altitude to get up to speed. So yeah, this one involved about 500 kilometers total of flying with 2 drop-off points and paid out 10,000 credits. Okay, so before I get into my discussion of these missions, I just want to talk about the other new mission type, which are the time-sensitive cargo missions. These actually appear under the search tab, I believe, since you're picking up cargo from a wreck site, and then you have to take that cargo to a drop-off point within a certain amount of time. The mission text does mention that there still could be people around the wreck, but I did these a couple of times, but I didn't run into any NPCs any of the times that I did it. Let me know in the comments if you have seen NPCs hanging around these wrecks though. So yeah, as you can see, the cargo tells you how much time you have left before it explodes, and this timer starts once you take it out of these larger crates. You really don't have all that much time, considering you have to load up 4 of these packages, which takes quite a bit of time, and then fly all the way to a drop-off point that's probably going to be on a different moon or planet. Thankfully you can quantum travel, so this is possible, but I was still cutting it a bit close when I did it. I think you'd probably want to bring a multi-tool with a tractor beam on it to save a bit of time when loading and unloading, because the time is actually way more limited than I initially thought it was going to be. However, these are a bit better than the no quantum missions in my opinion, because they're not as inconsistent, since you don't really have to worry about how much distance between the pickup and drop-off point, since you're going to be able to quantum travel anyway, and the missions are a bit faster since you do have to complete them quickly anyway, and you even get 1,000 more credits with a payout of 11,000 Alpha UEC. So my thoughts on these no quantum travel deliveries as well as the timed cargo deliveries, as you can probably tell, aren't that positive. So starting with the quantum sensitive missions, if you pick a decent one with reasonable pickup and drop off points, I think you earn a little bit more than the regular 3-box missions. This is already a point against them though, because scouting them out and finding out how far it is between the different points involves using the star map a lot to try and find the locations that are named in the contract, and everyone knows that the star map is a pain to use, so that's already a little annoyance. But continuing with the comparison to regular deliveries, this one here took me around 20 minutes, and the 3 box missions usually take a little bit longer, and they also only pay out 8,000 Alpha UEC. However, I think the bonus that you get from dealing with this potentially dangerous cargo should be much higher. If I'm putting something that's highly unstable in my ship and could blow up, I want more than a 2,000 credit bump over just delivering the mail or something like that. Also, barely beating the 3 box delivery missions that we have now is kind of pitiful because those in themselves are quite bad. If you don't remember, in 3.9, instead of delivery missions involving 3 boxes to be picked up at different locations or dropped off at different locations, the 8,000 Alpha UC delivery missions would involve you traveling between planet systems to make that profit, so like from ArcCorp to Microtech or Crusader to Microtech. This was a lot better and a lot more fun for a variety of reasons. First of all, since you only had 1 package per mission, it was pretty easy to do multiple missions at once. This took some planning, but it also rewarded the player for doing so. Also, if you were picking up multiple packages, you got to visit a lot of areas on different moons or even stations sometimes, and it was kind of like touring the verse through delivery missions. And then lastly, I think the drop-off points were just a lot cooler than taking the packages from one outpost to another outpost. You'd take them to different rooftops around the city of New Babbage, and the rooftop lockers here are very cool, and it made you feel like you were delivering important overnight mail or something to that effect. But yeah, with the old system from all the way back in 3.9, there was a lot more freedom for the player and even higher rewards. Now moving on to talking about the time-sensitive deliveries, they aren't quite as bad as the quantum-sensitive deliveries in my opinion. As long as you don't run out of time and explode, these are just objectively better than the regular deliveries, although I still think a pay bump of 3,000 credits is too small for dealing with dangerous cargo. But yeah, if you're looking for some deliveries to do and you don't mind being in a hurry, I think these are the best option for now. So I guess it's a good thing that they were added because they are a little bit better than what we've had recently, but I still would much prefer the old system that they removed from 3.9. So for this last part of the video, I want to talk about why I think that delivery missions being so bad right now is worse for the game than it seems like it would be. So for people who play the game a lot, like most of you watching this video, delivery missions being bad is just a slight annoyance. We all know they're not great, so we just either avoid them for the time being if we want to focus on making credits, or you can just do them for fun if we really feel like delivering something. However, for a new player, this is a bigger issue because a delivery mission is probably going to be one of the first things they try in the verse, and with the way they are right now, that's probably going to be a very off-putting experience. First of all, the only options they have are the new missions, which have extra complications from the cargo being volatile, or the standard 3-box deliveries. Whichever one they try, it's going to be a lot tougher to complete one of those than the previously available single-box deliveries, and I don't understand why those aren't still an option at least. Having to deliver 3 boxes just to complete one mission can be quite a difficult thing to do in Star Citizen, and especially for a new player, it's unlikely that they're going to succeed the first time they try it, which I think is unnecessarily frustrating. They should just have a single box delivery option at least for people to start off with. Even if a new player is actually able to complete these missions though, with the current payoffs, they're probably still going to be pretty disappointed with how little you earn. Even though you actually can make a reasonable amount of money doing combat missions in a starter ship, and could actually earn a better ship in a pretty short amount of time, doing combat is probably intimidating to a lot of new people. I know I was apprehensive of combat missions for the longest time when I was starting out, because in a game like Star Citizen, which tries to have somewhat large repercussions for dying, it seems like a big risk to take if you don't know the game that well. So I think delivery missions are going to be what new players try most of the time, and I think having them be such bad missions, you're just going to end up with a lot of frustrated new people who just give up on the game because they see that it's going to take them like 50 hours of deliveries to just earn a better ship. So yeah, I really hope to see some progress being made on actually putting some enjoyable delivery missions with reasonable payouts back into the game sooner rather than later. It's been since 3.10 that we've been stuck with these new and awful missions, and yeah, I know CIG likes to adjust payouts to incentivize players to test what they want tested, which right now is reputation and bounty hunting, but for one, I don't think the payouts on deliveries need to be this low to get that effect, since bounty hunting can easily make you multiple 100,000 credits an hour, so there's plenty of incentive to do that. And 2, the whole issue with hurting the new player experience like I just talked about. Also, I just really want a reason to fly around those New Babbage rooftops again. I feel like we've waited long enough. So this is more of an opinion-based video than I usually do, and feel free to let me know what you think about this in the comments. Do you like the new delivery missions, and do you even think that the state of delivery missions is a big problem? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to leave a like or subscribe. Thanks for watching!